Now let us come to the last chapter of the second semester, that is work ethics. Now we have been discussing ethics or the science of right and wrong. How do you develop the right attitude, and after discussion or after deliberation, after examination, after judgment, we decide what we will do. And it is not a very easy job. What is right and wrong is such a relative things most of the time that it is difficult to decide. You know, there has been occasions where people have told lies, but telling lies is wrong. Telling lies is wrong. Now sometime a father is there. Now his son is dead in somewhere else. Now there is a fear that this man is having already heart problem. This old man has heart problem, and if I release the news to him, he might get a shock and he may die. So what happens is that we have to create condition when we can tell him the truth. For the present we can tell him, no, I do not have any knowledge, we are trying to find out, his son is in some other country, say fighting a war and all that. I have to ensure that his father is in a proper condition to understand the truth and accept what has actually happened. So sometime what happens is that telling the truth is always correct, you can say, but then sometime we may have to defer telling the truth. We might have to create a condition for telling the truth. Least that fellow's life is in danger, is it not? Or we have been discussing that while a person has murdered somebody and the court has ordered that he be hanged till death. Now this person is being given death punishment for killing somebody, but how he will be killed? Some executioner, somebody in the jail will hang him to death. Now that person is doing the same thing under orders of the court. Is that wrong? No. We say that is not wrong, that is not murder. He is killing him, hanging him till death on the orders of the court. This man is dying because he has killed somebody else. Now these both are killing. One killing we say right, another killing we say wrong. But many people will say the second killing is also wrong. So ethics is not easy to decide. Now what we are coming to is that we have dealt with various aspects of ethics. We first dealt with ethics and women in the first semester. Now we have come in the second semester, we are talking of ethics and citizenship. So this is the emphasis in this semester. Now on the last leg, we are coming to ethics in workplace. You are a professional, I am a teacher, you are presently a student, tomorrow you may be a businessman, you may be an accountant, you may work in a factory, you may become an entrepreneur, you may run a taxi, you may run a small eatery, you can work in a government, you can become an IAS officer, you can become a professor like me. You will go into various walks of life, and when you go into various walks of life and work in workplaces, variety of workplaces, then there are ethical questions which will arise in your workplace. Now this ethical question in workplace is what we are going to study in this unit. We cannot cover everything, but we will talk of only general principles which will help you to become a successful person in your workplace. There are some general principles of ethics, and we will talk of those ethical values which you must sustain, which you must practice to succeed in your workplace. So that is about the work ethics. So this chapter is slightly moving towards another angle, and this will help you to become a great citizen. You cannot be a great citizen unless you work, maybe for yourself, for earning money, personally you may be an entrepreneur, you may be self-employed, or you may be employed otherwise. So, what are the ethical values as to be practiced in a workplace is the focus of this unit. And how the chapter is organized? We have specified what work ethics we will discuss. One is punctuality and time management, cleanliness which you have dealt earlier, but in workplace we will take it up further, law abidingness, rational thinking and scientific temper. You must always remember that all these things are related to citizenship. Our focus is citizenship. So, we are not going into specific what is the work ethics of doctors, engineers, architects, teachers like that, but we are generally what are the basic principles which is applicable to everybody. In whatever work field you may be, punctuality and time management is matters, cleanliness matters, law abidingness matters, rational thinking and scientific temper also matters. At times we will talk about the students, but that we will also deal in the fourth or fifth semester. If I am not wrong, it will be dealt in the fifth semester. In the fifth semester we will deal with that, the student's life and academic ethics. There we will get into that in great detail. But here we are trying to equip you to whatever employment, whatever profession, including self-employment you go, that these things will help. Now, how is it organized? So, introduction and objective which I have partly covered now, work ethics meaning and concept which I have also told you a little bit about it, core values of work ethics, punctuality and time management, cleanliness, law abidingness, rational thinking, scientific temper, other principles of work ethics. Then we will deal qualities of leadership, contemporary challenges, concept of self and work ethics. Then of course, we will sum it up with keywords and you will check your learning and suggested readings and all that. Now, let us come to the next part, introduction and objective. A good citizen follows ethics or behaves as per moral beliefs and social norms of right and wrong. First of all, a good citizen follows ethics. Now, what is ethics? Behaves as per moral beliefs and social norms of right and wrong. Now, suppose you are working in a hospital. You may be a sweeper, you may be a doctor, whatever is you. Now, when the patient comes, wherever you are placed, what is the expected attitude? You will try to help him. Is it not? We will try to help him. So, suppose he has come with his kid, he wants to know where the pediatric section is. You will not tell him, why don't you read the board? It is there in the board. Use your Google map on the telephone. No. Your attitude should be helpful to any patient who comes to seek help in a medical hospital or a medical college. You are expected to, yes, you may be tired, you may be stretched, because working in a hospital is not easy things, not an easy affair, we know, but you may be tired. In spite of that, you will try to help people as much as possible. So, if you know, if it is a big hospital, you may not know, but then you have to give the person to where he can find out. So, that is very necessary, because one has to be helpful to those who come to use the hospital. So, that is what we call moral beliefs and social norms of right and wrong. Being helpful is a quality necessary everywhere, more so in a hospital. Everywhere, but more so in a hospital, is it not? So, that is very important. So, a good citizen, this is how it is related with your citizen. Citizen is a person who has voting right legally. Citizen is basically a resident, permanent resident who is born there, brought up there, he belongs to that place normally. You may be born in America, you can still be an Indian citizen, does not matter. So, once you are a citizen of a country, you are a member of a country, member of a nation state. Let us not again get back into the legal concepts. Generally, we understand who is a citizen. So, once you are a citizen, you are a person living in a country, if you should be helpful. As far as possible, let us be helpful. So, such behavior also promotes nation building, organization building. So, a good citizen has to be an ethical person. What is right and wrong, he must behave, he must be a moral person, and what is morally right, he should do that. That is how, once you are a good citizen and you are a moral person, that is how the nation is built. The nation is built basically in the workplaces. Whether you are a scientist, whether you are an engineer, whether somebody is working as a laborer in a construction site, wherever it is in the workplaces, the nation is built, not at your homes. At your homes also the work, you build the nation. When we bring up our children and all that, it is not that we do not also build the nation at home. But majority of the nation building happens in the workplace. Whether you are a scientist, whether you are a teacher, whether you are a doctor, whatever field you are working, and there who can build the nation? An ethical person can build the nation. If the doctor does not treat the patient well, if the engineer does not supervise a construction, if the teacher does not teach well in the class, if the student does not study in the college and the school, he does not attend classes, then what happens? Can you build a nation? No. So, it is in the workplaces that the nation is built mostly, and in further organization building. School is an organization, college is an organization, hospital is an organization, and it is through your working. You require capital, you require money, you require instrument, you require good building. Those things also help in organization building. But the most important component in organization building is the human resource. And what kind of human resource? Ethical human resource. Human beings who are morally right, who are not cheats, who do not betray, who work, who come in time, work for 8 hours, whatever is the required of you, you do that. So, the nation is built in the organizations where you work, and organization is also built by the human beings, and social harmony is also maintained by the citizens. Now, that is the question. So, after reading this chapter, we will come to know, understand the meaning and concept of work ethics, comprehend the characteristics and components of good work ethics, be aware of how these principles and values have evolved over centuries across the world, become a better citizen, a family person, a good performer in one's workplace. Answer to many ethical questions are naturally sought from philosophy and religion. All these things, answers are sought from philosophy and religion. We will not go into philosophy and religion, but we will sometime draw upon the fundamental principle on which work ethics is based, and these fundamental principles are mostly drawn from philosophy and religion even. ଏହି ଚାପ୍ଟରରେ ଆମେ କର୍ମସ୍ଥଳରେ ନୈତିକତା କଥା ବିଚାର କରିବା। ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ନୈତିକ ଆଚରଣ କ'ଣ ହେବା ଉଚିତ, କର୍ମସ୍ଥଳରେ କ'ଣ ଆଚରଣ ହେବା ଉଚିତ ଏବଂ କ'ଣଟା ନୈତିକ ହେବ, କ'ଣ ଅନୈତିକ ହେବ, ଏହି କଥା ଚିନ୍ତା କରାଯାଉ। ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟ ଉଦାହରଣରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲି। ଇଂରେଜୀରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କହୁଥିଲି ଯେ ଧର ହସ୍ପିଟାଲରେ ତୁମେ କାମ କରୁଛ, ଡାକ୍ତର ହୁଅ, ସୁଇପର ହୁଅ, ଯାହା ବି ହୁଅ, ତୁମକୁ ଜଣେ ଆସିକି ପଚାରିଲା, ଆଜ୍ଞା ଶିଶୁ ବିଭାଗଟା କୁଆଡ଼େ, ତାକୁ ମୁଁ ବିରକ୍ତ ହେଇ କହିବି, ଦେଖ ସେ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲର ପଶୁ ସେଠି ସାଇନ୍ ବୋର୍ଡ଼ ଅଛି, ଦେଖୁନୁ, ଯାଇକି ଦେଖେ ସେଠି ସାଇନ୍ ବୋର୍ଡ଼ ଦେଖ। ବିରକ୍ତ ଭାବରେ କହିବି, ତାକୁ କୌଣସି ସମ୍ମାନ ଦେବେନି, ତୁତାକିରି କହିବି, ତାହେଲେ କ'ଣ ହେଲା? କର୍ମସ୍ଥଳରେ ତା'ର ଯେପରି ବ୍ୟବହାର ହେବା ଉଚିତ ସେପରି ହେଲା କି? କାରଣ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ସବୁ ସ୍ଥାନରେ ଅନ୍ୟକୁ ସାହାଯ୍ୟ କରିବାର ଲକ୍ଷଣ ରଖିବା ଆବଶ୍ୟକ, ନୁହଁ କି? ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ହେଲେ ହଉ ରେ ଅଧିକ ଆବଶ୍ୟକ। एयरपोर्ट रे बेले बेले तार गोटे विपरीत उदाहरण मुझे दूसरी बड़ बड़ एयरपोर्ट रे एपरिक भुवनेश्वर एयरपोर्ट रे गोटे गोटे जगार लिखाई जड़े सैन्य बंदूकटे धरिकी छिड़ा हो हाँ एवं से लिखाई दयाकोरी एठारे कौन सी पचारतुनि कि बुझापी चेष्टा करतुनि कहीं कारण से सैनिकर जो कम ता पाखे तुम जब इनक्वारी भिड़ लगेब ताले जो कम से छिड़ाई सजाग दृष्टि रखापी तादे व्यतिक्रम घटो तेणु सी ताकू जा पचारे सी तुमको उत्तर दब नहीं बा विरक्त होकर कह लिखाई पढ़ मत कि पचारनी से कथा अलगा यहाँ है नैतिकता ये नैतिकतार गोटे केमती कला धड़ा सबु स्थान में से एका कथा लागू हम सेमती कहीपरानी से तो नैतिकता कथा कहूँ कर्मस्थल नैतिक देश तैयारी जो होटी घरे भी होंतु बेसी हूँ कर्मस्थल शिक्षक जदि स्कूल रे पाठ पढ़ेले नहीं पिला माने जदि स्कूल रे पाठ पढ़ले नहीं हॉस्पिटल रे जदि डाक्तर माने देखिले नहीं ठीक से जदि स्वीपर झाड़ूदार झाड़ू कला नहीं पायखाना सफा रखिला नहीं ताले से संस्था भल हो पारनी संस्था भल ना देश भल हो पारनी संस्था और देश भल ना जड़े व्यक्ति कौन भल रही पार सेमती समाज गठन जो कथा कहुच्छी से कर्मस्थल नैतिकता को विचार करने दरकार यही चैप्टर रे आम कर्मस्थल नैतिकता कथाटा को विशेष भाव में आलोचना करुचे कौन नैतिक व्यवहार हवा उचित कर्मस्थल रे से कथा आम आलोचना करुचे यही चैप्टर रे एवं केते गुड़े निर्दिष्ट कथा कहुचे जे समयानुवर्तित एवं समय किपरि सदुपयोग हम समय को केमती मैनेज करवा से कथा टाइम मैनेजमेंट कथा आम विचार करवा सफा सुतरा कथा आगु आलोचना करचे किछिटा आउ थे टिके कर्मस्थल सफा सुतरा कथा दृष्टिकोण विचार करवा आईन आम कहीं मानवा आईन न मानवार कारण कौन न मानले कौन हम से कथा मुझे चैप्टर आलोचना करवा तापर रैशनल थिंकिंग एंड साइंटिफिक गोटे वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिभंगी रखा दृष्टिकोण एवं दृष्टिभंगी वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिभंगी रखा एवं आम रैशनली युक्तियुक्त भाव चिंता करवा यही जो कथा या कर्मस्थान नैतिकता कौन से आम आलोचना करचे यही चैप्टर आलोचना करवा एवं जड़े भल नागरिक ये तीनटा कथा करिवो कौन करिवो ना देश तैयारी रे जो संस्था चाकरी करছে संस्था गुड़ी को भल भाव में गढ़ापी एवं सामाजिक संहति जो नैतिक आचरण मानि नवा उचित जहाँ को से व्यवहार करवा उचित जो भाई आचरण करवा उचित से कथा यही विभाग में आलोचना करवा एवं एथर कौन हम ये चैप्टर सरला बेलू आम बुझीपर जे नैतिक आचरण कहले कौन बुझा जाए कर्मस्थल नैतिक आचरण कहले कौन बुझा जाए एवं जड़े भल नैतिक व्यक्तित्वर कौन कौन लक्षण देखा उचित से कथा आलोचना करवा एवं कौ नीति उपरे यह पर्यवेसित एवं यार किपर ऐतिहासिक क्रम विकास घटिला से कथा मध्य दुई पद कहवा एवं जड़े भल सिटीजन हाँपाई जड़े भल नागरिक हाँपाई जड़े भल पारिवारिक व्यक्तित्व हाँपाई आउ कर्मस्थल जड़े कुशली लोक हाँपाई कौन कर वर्क प्लेस रे हाँ से कथा भी आलोचना करवा एवं जहाँ सब ये नैतिक प्रश्न उठिबो ताहा अनेक समय दर्शन रु धर्म रु आछि जदियो आम नैतिक दर्शन एवं धर्म विशेष भाव में आलोचना करने किंतु केते गुडे मूल कथा बेले बेले किछिटा आलोचना करवा किछिटा से विषय जानिबा नाउ लेट अस कम टू वर्क एथिक्स मीनिंग एंड कॉन्सेप्ट द Merriam-Webster dictionary defines work ethics as belief in work as a moral good, a set of values centered on the importance of doing work, reflected especially in a desire or determination to work hard. Indians have believed for thousands of years that work is worship. Now, the two concepts I have placed here before your consideration. One is that belief in work as a moral good. Who is a good person? First and foremost is that an ethical person, a moral person, a good man is a working man. I am not saying that it is only if you are in a nokri, you are in a job, you are working. May not be, you may be self-employed. But can you be a good citizen? Can you be a morally good person, ethically a good person without working? Only sitting at home, not doing anything? Suppose you have lot of money, you may not work, but will you not read the newspaper? Will you not cook your own food? If you do nothing absolutely, then you are a liability to the society. Your parents may have left money for you, or you may have earned money enough. All of us are required to work, both involuntarily and voluntarily. Work is something which you must not. Unemployment is another issue, you are not getting work is another issue, underemployment is another issue, but refusal to work, one who does not work altogether, is a liability on the society, is a liability on the nation. So, what do we mean by work ethics? What is the fundamental meaning? Work as a moral good, a set of values centered on the importance of doing work, reflected especially in a desire or determination to work hard. You must work hard. So, we were discussing when in the very first minute we were discussing socialism. There I had, if you recall, I had given you one principle: work according to your capacity. Whatever you are capable of, you must work according to your capacity. And we have also discussed that you build capacity, you become more capable. So, that is the best gift of work. All of us should work according to our capacity, and all of us should improve our capacity to work. So, when this becomes an ethical belief, this becomes an ethical attitude, that is the kernel of work ethics. And in India, you know, there are several yogas. One of the yogas is karma yoga. You do not bother about whether there is God or no God, do not bother if there is life after life or before life, from where you have come, where you will go, forget all these things, do your work simply, and all your spiritual aspirations can be fulfilled. That is why we say work is worship. Instead of worshipping, sitting before a deity, playing music or only praying and all that, will not do. You have to work also. And if you want to, just like in voluntarism we said, there is something from the Bible I quoted and told you, that service to man is service to God. How can you serve the God? Best is to serve the human beings, or you can say even the animals, even the plants, anything, through service. You can achieve your moral goals by servicing. So, similarly, we say that work is God, work is worship. So, that is how we understand this. Indians have belief system which holds that even God can be realized through work. In fact, it is natural for all of us to work. We cannot survive without work. There are many other relevant principles in philosophical and religious tradition. Peace and prosperity of nature and the universe as a single family. We have been time and again discussing that the entire world, the entire universe is interconnected. We are one. So, we will not work against nature. It is not that man wants to conquer nature, man wants to understand nature, work along with nature for peace and prosperity. Right views, right thought, right speech, right action, livelihood, effort, attentiveness and concentration, these are all from Buddhism. These are all from Buddhism. He says, Lord Buddha says, Arya Ashtangika Marga. He is also, every religion is not too much connected with philosophy. Religion has also practical aspects. Buddhism, which has also practical aspect, they emphasize that you must develop the right kind of attitude, understanding or views, thinking, or in your words, in your deeds, in your action, and livelihood. Livelihood is what you do for filling your belly. Livelihood. You must not say, Now, you have heard the story of Valmiki, is it not? Valmiki was a Dasyu, Ratnakara, and when he goes back, he tried to rob somebody, and he said, I am a dacoit, so I have every right to do this. And then he says, go, you are earning lot of papa, lot of sin, go back to your wife, whether she will take anything out of it. And when Ratnakara goes back and she asks his wife, he says, why should I take your sin? As the husband, as the head of the family, it is your job to work and get food for all of us. I am doing the homework, you are doing the work from outside. So, it is your responsibility, and if you are doing something wrong there, how do I know? And how am I responsible? I will not take a part of your sin. Then he asks his children, children tell him the same thing. Then he realizes, no, I must get food for my children, for my wife, for my family, but by doing the right thing, not the wrong thing, by doing the right thing. So, this comes from Indian religion, Hinduism. So, Buddha says that right livelihood, right effort, attentiveness, concentration. Our job is not to get into Buddhism, but what I am trying to tell you is that these fundamental principles come from mostly religion and philosophy. Similarly, in Jainism, faith, knowledge, conduct and behavior, right faith, right knowledge, right conduct and right behavior. Just as you honor your father and mother, you must also honor the work. You shall not commit adultery, this comes from Christianity, steal, lie or covet, etc. Justice, goodness, kindness, forgiveness must be practiced, this comes from Islam. Honesty and piety is common to all religion. Fairness, mercy and generosity is also common to all religion. Not to indulge in fraud, be malicious, cherish unworthy ambitions, engage in unworthy teaching. One must work without expectation. This is again karma yoga. So, we have many things from the philosophical side, but I will come, before I get into details of work ethics, we will come to another important question, which is very nicely dealt by Gandhi. Do ends justify means? Getting food is the end. Getting food for my family is suppose the end, which Ratnakar did. Now, for doing that, killing people, engaging in stealing, engaging in dacoity, that is the means. Now, because the end is getting food, any means will do. In politics it is said, we will come to that in politics a little later, but is that true? Can you do by any means? Now, in politics you have to come to power. If you want to serve the people, it is best to become the prime minister or the chief minister of a state or a country. That is the best way to serve people, true. Serving the people is the objective. But for coming to power, should I bribe people? Should I engage in violence, if necessary in murder? Because my end is serving people. Can I serve them through anything? Whatever is the end, passing the examination is my end. Should I engage in malpractice to pass the examination? Is the means justified? Does the mean justify the end? It does not. It does not. Both the means and the end have to be morally correct. Suppose I copy and I pass the examination. The objective of studying is to learn a thing. I have not learned that thing. I have copied and I have passed. Now, when I go to work field, I have to apply that. I can't do that because I do not know that. Suppose you are a student of aero engineering, how to make an aeroplane, that is your objective of going to aero engineering college. I somehow or other pass by copying, by malpractice. Then when I go to make an aeroplane, can I make an aeroplane? No, I can't make. I have passed the examination. I have got a job. So, the objective of studying aero engineering was to make an aeroplane, and if I adopt unfair means, then can that objective be fulfilled? It cannot be fulfilled. Getting a job is not the objective. Creating an aeroplane, working in an aeroplane factory, if I have not learnt that in my college, then getting the degree is useless. Service of the people is my objective for coming into politics. Social service is my objective for coming into politics. If I come to power through backdoor means, through violence, intimidating people, making people afraid of me, forcing them to vote for me, will I ever do any service to them? Definitely not. So, both ends and means must be justified. You cannot say only ends will justify, by any means, by hook or crook, I will reach the end. That is not the case. Even if you reach, you will not fulfill the objective for which you wanted to go there. So, every objective of the work must be known to you, and you must only adopt the right path to reach there. Both ends and means must be justified and ethical. Mahatma Gandhi gave a lot of emphasis on this during the freedom struggle. During the freedom struggle, our objective was to attain freedom. Now, he said that by violence, by killing the English, can we achieve independence? Will that independence last? Is that independence justified if I kill? So, Mahatma Gandhi gives us a beautiful example of how ends and means are justified, has to be justified each other. So, that is why we must understand that what is work ethics. कर्म क्षेत्र रे नैतिकता कहले कौन बुझाଯିବ? भारतर शास्त्र रे कहाउची जे भगवान होउचंती कर्म, कर्म जगह कहाउची जे किछि पूजा पद्धति करबा दरकार नहीं, कर्म ही पूजा। कर्म माध्यम रे काम कले भगवान मिलवा सहज, भगवान को मिलवार सबुठारु सहज उपाय है काम करवा। काम न करके कहीं रही पारिबनी प्रकृत रे। निश्वास प्रश्वास नवाठू आरंभ करके खाइबा पीवा सब तुम से गुड़ाक सब इनवॉलंटरी वर्क। निश्वास नवाटा तुमको चेष्टा करियो कहूनी, किंतु निश्वास नले तुम बंची पारिबनी। काम न करके 24 घंटा आलसुआ होइकी सोई रहीकरी जदि कोठू मागणार खाइबा को मिलुची मागणा खाइकरी रहिले देश गठन हो पारिबो? आमे जदि कर्म कोढ़िया हवा, अलसुआ हवा, काम करबा पई आम पाखरे इच्छा नहीं, स्पृहा नहीं, से जो इंग्राजी रे जो डेफिनेशन कहगला जो विश्वास काम द्वारा जड़े भल मनीष हो पारे, यही विश्वासटा हूँ कर्म क्षेत्र रे नैतिकतार मूल दुआ। खाली काम करने गोटे आग्रह स्व इच्छार काम कर आवश्यकता अच्छी से कथा नुह, से यथेष्ट नुह। मु भल काम करी, दृढ़ भाव काम करी एवं यथेष्ट परिश्रम करी मोर लक्ष्य हासिल करने। तेणु से जो काम कर स्पृहा, काम कर बद्ध परिकरता जे हाँ मु काम करी, मु यथेष्ट परिश्रम करी, जहाँ संभव ता करी काम करने, ताहले जाइकरी देश गठन हो पार, राज्य गठन हो पार। कौन सी देश रे जोठी लोक माने नागरिक माने अलसुआ जो माने काम करकुटू ठकती है कर्म कोढ़िया जोठी सेठी से देश राज्य गठन हो पारे नहीं, संस्था आगु को जाई पारे नहीं। तेणु भगवान को पाइबाक हेले मध्य कर्म मध्यम रे भगवान को पाई हबो। केतेबेले आमर विभिन्न धर्म रे दर्शन रे जो सब बहुत वर्षरु प्रचलित नियम नीति गुड़िक रही, नीति गुड़िक नैतिक नीति गुड़िक रही, ता विषय सम्यक आलोचना दि जाउछि जे शांति, पीस एंड प्रॉस्पेरिटी एवं यथेष्ट संपत्ति माने प्राकृतिक संपत्ति हो, खाद्यर संपत्ति हो, सबु प्रकार चारिआडे प्राचुर्य कथा, शांति एवं प्राचुर्य, यही प्राचुर्य एवं शांति खोजो हेले आमको सारा पृथ्वी की गोटे परिवार बोली भाविबाक हम। जदि आम चोरी करवा, गरीब को गरीब ही रहा देवा, तांको साहाय्य करवानी, इत्यादि इत्यादि कर धनी देश माने गरीब देश को साहाय्य करेंगे नहीं, ताहले कौन हम ना शांति और प्राचुर्य रही पार। बौद्ध धर्म रे जो शब्द आर्य अष्टांगिक मार्ग अच्छी से जो कथा कहूँ सम्यक दर्शन सम्यक चिंता सम्यक भाषण कथबार्ता ये सब कथा 8टा कथा अच्छी जे कौन जे ठीक काम करवा ठीक चिंता रखा वार्तालाप कला बेलू कथबार्ता कथोपकथन कला बेलू भाषार शालीनता रक्षा करवा भल कथबार्ता करवा कर्म करवा जीवन रो निर्भीका जहाँ जमती जो थ्रु आम जीवन चलो पेट पाटना चलो से सत्य पथरे जीवा उचित परिश्रम करवा काम को निष्ठार सहित करवा इत्यादि कथा बौद्ध धर्म में कहुई सेपरी महावीर जैन कहते जे विश्वास ज्ञान व्यवहार एवं आचार व्यवहार सब ठीक हवा दरकार निज पिता माता को सम्मान करवा दरकार इजिप्ट ये सबुटी कथा सब धर्म रे अच्छी तेणु अन्यर स्त्री बा पुरुष को सहित संभोग न करवा चोरी न करवा मिछ न कहवा अत्यधिक लोभ न करवा इत्यादि कथा बहु धर्म रे कहुई से भली न्याय दया करुणा एवं क्षमा आचरिया कथा मध्य कहुची सेहीपरि सचोटपणिया कथा कहुची एवं कौन सी ठकाठकी न करवा कौन सी अनवर्दी एम्बिशन न रखिबा एवं शेष में गोटे प्रश्न मु पचारुची जे आमे जहाँ जो माध्यम कामटा करुचे से कामर जो लक्ष्य शेष लक्ष्य एंड एवं जो माध्यम जो प्रकार कार्य करुचे जो प्रणाली रे कार्य करुचे उभय सचोट हवा दरकार दस्यु रत्नाकर कथा कहते रत्नाकर जिते क्या जड़े मारे जाऊँच कहले बाबू मत कहीं मारू मो धन संपत्ति कहीं नबू है से कहला मोर घर आउ केम चलो मु डकायत करके चले तेणु मु तुमको मारि से कहले जा तोर जो पाप हम से कहला पाप कौन हो मु आउ ना केम चलि है सेठू से कहले तू जा पचार तो स्त्री को ये से पापर भाग नब कि से कहले नबनी कहीं कहले जा पचारिक आस से जो स्त्री को जा पचारे स्त्री कहले देख तुम स्वामी हिसाब से कर्म हो काम काम करके आणव आमको खावा पीवा दबार व्यवस्था कर आम कम हो रोसई बास कर तुमको सब खावाई मुझे देवी मो स्त्री धर्म मु पिला लालन पालन करी आ तुम जदि असत उपाय रोजगार करुचा से पापरे मोर किसी भाग नहीं से मोर किसी भाग नहीं पिला पचारे पिला कहले अरे सी कहे आम कहीं नु तुम बापा होच तुम दायित्व आमको कथा बुझापी तुम से असत उपाय जदि करुच आम तो जान नु असत उपाय जदि करुच से आमर किसी भाग नहीं आम से तुम पापर भाग नापी राजी नु तेणु ये जो कथा उठुची ये दस्यु रत्नाकर कथार जे गोटे सत् रक्षा हासिल करने असद उपाय अवलंबन करा जाई पारे कि महात्मा गांधी खूब दृढ़ भाव में कहते नुहे सत् उपाय सद उपाय सत् लक्ष्य केवल हासिल करा जाई पारे से कहते जे इंग्रेजी माने आम आग चैप्टर सब आलोचना करचे जे इंग्रेज मान आम ये विरोध करुँ कारण कौन सी विदेशी आम उपर शासन कर अधिकार नहीं तेणु से भारत छाड़ी जातु किंतु आम घृणा करूना व्यक्तिगत भाव में आम मारू ना हत्या करूँ ना कारण ताल भीतर आम भीतर कौन फरक जदि हत्या चलो हिंसा चलो हिंसा मध्यम से डरिकी भारत छाड़ी जी जापारती किंतु हिंसा मध्यम गले हिंसा बढ़ कम नहीं तेणु सत् उपाय सत् लक्ष्य हासिल करवा हूँ कर्मर मुख्य कथा जेपरी राजनीति रे कह जाए जे तुम्हें देश सेवा करने राजनीतिक लोक मैंने आसती जदि देश सेवा करवा तुम जड़े राजनीति को आसवा लोकर लक्ष्य से जदि असद उपाय अवलंबन कर से देश सेवा कर ना धन उपार्जन कर असद उपाय आम कॉलेज जड़े मु एग्जांपल दूसरी जड़े पिला धर एरोप्लेन इंजीनियरिंग पाठ पढ़ापी जाए कौन सी प्रकार ठकाठकी करके कपी टपी कर से पास करगला पास कर चाकरी भी पाईगला हुए तो चाकरी पाईगला कौन पर कौन से एरोप्लेन तैयारी कि कहीं कहीं ना से असद उपाय पास कर पाठटा जाना नहीं तेणु सत् उपाय पढ़वार अर्थ हूँ पाठटा जाना हूँ लक्ष्य यही लक्ष्य असद उपाय केबे हेले हासिल करा जाई पारिबो नाही। राजनीति कहुई गोटे कथा कहुई जे किछि लोक तुम सबुदिन ठकी पार, किछि लोक तुम सबुदिन ठकी पार, किंतु सबु लोक किछि लोक सबुदिन ठकी पार, आउ किछि लोक किछि दिन ठकी पार, कि सबु लोक सबुदिन ठकी पार ना। दिने ना दिने जदि तुमर राजनीति जो लक्ष्य रही लोकसेवा से लक्ष्य न रखिक अन्य लक्ष्य कार्य करुच ताले दिने ना दिने से कथा जना पड़ो, लोक मैंने जानीपर तुमको तुमर असल रूप निश्चित भाव में पदार पड़ो एवं तुमको लोक मैंने भोट देवे नहीं प्रत्याख्यान करेंगे। से भाया मुझे कॉपी टॉपी करके पास कली चाकरी भी पाईगली मत जदि कामटा जना ना मत से चाकरी बाहर करेंगे बाध्य, कारण मुझे कामटा जानी आ चाकरी कहीं रखिए से यही है कथा। तेणु केवल लक्ष्य सत हवा उचित नुह, यथेष्ट नुह, जो तरीकारे से लक्ष्य को हासिल करवा जो उपाय अवलंबन करवा ताहा मध्य सत हबार आवश्यकता रही। एइथिपाई आमे कर्म क्षेत्र रे किपरि व्यवहार करवा एवं ता विषय तार मूल भैल्यू गुड़िक मूल्यबोध गुड़ाक आसंता क्लास रे आलोचना करवा। धन्यवाद।